Hey guys, this is Megan with Thousand Generation Farms. Today we are doing our first DIY. Of course I've done a few in my day and I'm sure you have too, but today it's DIY dresser time. So come farming with us. So here's a new project I am working on. This is a dresser and these are the shelves. As you can tell, I took the drawers out first and then so I took the handles off. You can see this is where the handle was. Took the handle off just by using a screwdriver to unscrew the screw that was here. As you can see, there is a little nail that was holding the handle on. Same over here, but that's okay. I'll get the hammer and I'll nail those out. So as you can see, I took the top drawer out. It's sitting right here. And the nice part about this is that this is real wood. It's pretty thin, but I will use that for shelving that goes in where these slots are. And so the next thing that I'm gonna do is paint. I chose white. I am using a Kills product. It's a matte finish, interior, exterior. And honestly, I've used this on my walls in a bedroom. And I've also used it on furniture and it works great. So because if you look closely, you can see that some of the finish, the epoxy has been scratched away. I'm not really sure if the previous owner had stained this, if it was like this when they got it. So I am going to sand it down a little bit just so that the surface is a lot smoother. So I'm actually using an orbital sander. You can see on the edge that there are pads that go on it. When the pad originally is red, and then when it's about done, you can see this is kind of torn. When it's about done, it turns gray, and then you replace, but you can even get these at Walmart for like $5 in a pack for like $3, so really cheap, and they work really well. So I sanded this down. As you can tell, the marks are still there. But what it did was it smoothed them out so they weren't raised. And so, when I wipe it off a little bit, this will be a lot easier to paint over, because if I would have painted over it beforehand, the paint would have sunk in and then you could feel that texture. And so what I'm doing is I'm trying to cover up the blemishes here. And the coolest part, if you look closely, I sanded here, and this is actually the real wood under all of this old stain, which if I wanted to go for more of a raw look, I would strip the whole thing, sand it down, and then it would look really cool like this. But I am going towards another idea. These little markings here are on the top and the bottom down there, and when you're looking at old furniture, like I think I got this for $30. Those are the character that these old pieces have, and they really make it even better than before. So I painted some of it. You can see it's white. There is some places that it still just looks pretty rough. You can't really see it very well. But the first coat always looks pretty rough when you're painting wood. You always do the different strokes and you try and do it the same way, and then it doesn't work very well. And so don't get frustrated on your first coat. There's always coat number 2 or coat number 3, and then it'll look a lot more solid. As you can see, I have most of it painted. I did not do the bottom, and a lot of times on projects, especially when I'm working in our garage, I do the bottom last, just because I don't want to get any dirt on it, and it just works a lot better that way. Another thing I wanted to say about this paint is it has a primer built into it, so I did not have to prime it. And if you do get a paint like that, sometimes it ends up looking like this your first coat, but like I said before, no worries. And remember, I sanded this to make it smoother. Just because it's smoother doesn't mean all of the wear and tear gets smoothed out. Some of it does, but I kind of like a little bit of this left in there, like these markings, because that will make it look more rustic. And right now that's the thing. Hey guys, so it's been about a week since I have done any video clips of the dresser I'm redoing. This is the second video series of it. I put it all together just so that you guys can see the different steps I did and then how it will turn out. And this will be the second part of the first video. There will be one more video that has 1 or 2 parts to it, just to show you how the dresser turned out and then what we did with it. So, as for today, I've been working hard at this. I have a picture that I'll put on the screen just to show you the framing that I decided to do. But right now, I'll show you what I have. So here's the dresser. Last time there was no handles on it. As you can see, these are a little more rustic, old-fashioned looking. They are kind of a black with a little hints of bronze in them. If you look even closer in here, the hole from the old handle is still there. I will fill that in with some wood filler. And so I put 2 different ones. There's the other one. And the drawer is kind of sticky. That's kind of what you get with old drawers. But, you know, since I'm keeping this, not a big deal to me. If I that, but as you can see, you got some good storage in there. And then it looks nice too. So what I was talking about the border is there will be, I'm gonna make a hanging door around this. The hinges will be on this side. And then over here will be a knob handle. And so when you look at this, the whole bottom will be framed with wood. There will be some kind of chicken wire or screening in there. The border that is wood will be stained. And then I'm thinking about taking this middle shelf out, the base right here, and just having 2 shelves. That way you have a bigger one and then you have smaller ones. This will allow me or whoever to use this and put taller things in there, like say you have a vase of flowers for decoration or some tall books, or you want to stack some blankets there in your living room. That will work out great like that. So I'm going to show you the border that I've done. I actually just got some, I think it was like a 1 inch by 8 foot pine, and I got it from Menards. It was a little cheaper than the stuff I actually liked, but it works just as great, just a little easier on the checkbook. And the reason I liked this other stuff that was more expensive was because it looked a lot more rough. And this pine is a lot more smooth, which when you're doing rustic pieces, you kind of want more of the rough feel to it, because it'll have that country or farmhouse feel to it. As you can tell, like if you go to different craft fairs or flea markets, a lot of the furniture or country farm or farmhouse type decor they're selling has more of that rustic or rough look to it. Set it up better so you can see it here. It was a lot lighter, as you saw in that picture. Hi, Silas. But I stained it. I did 2 different coats, and it was like a coffee mocha stain, which I just got from our local Sack Lumber. And then I got these knobs, which this one, just like these handles, this one is black with a little bit of bronze just to match. They were not in the same set series. Like you can go to Menards or wherever and they have a different they have like a couple different things in the same set. Like they'll have handles, they'll have knobs, they'll have hinges that are all kind of the same brushed look. And this was not in the same one as the handles, but it was in the same of the hinges, but they just kind of look similar, and I liked the look. It was a little bit more rustic, like I was telling you, so that's why I picked it. And I liked just how it was small. Since I had the bigger handle up here, I didn't want a bigger handle down here. That's just preference, and when it comes to design or whatever. So I stained it. As you can see, it's pretty large. And how I started out is I just took pieces of wood, lined them right here, lined them up here, on the bottom, on the other side, made sure they fit. Of course, I had to cut some of this lumber down because it was 8 foot. And so I just measured it with the tape measure, all 4 of these pieces. And then as you can see, like right here, I did an angle with my drill, and then I screwed it in. I screwed a screw in there, and I think they were like inch screws. I'm not sure if you can see that very well, but I did that on all sides, and then I even did it on the outside just because it needed a little bit more sturdiness to it. The next thing I'll show you is the hinges. They have the same brush as the knob I just showed you. These actually turned out really well. They have like this weird piece that is kind of like a red brown in there, and my husband told me that that's supposed to stay in there, but it actually makes the hinge like kind of tough. So it'll be interesting to see when we actually put the door on how easy it is to open and shut. I've never seen it where they had that plastic piece in there, but it has some springs with it, so I'm sure he's right. I'm sure that it needs to stay there. I'm gonna hold this up for you so you can kind of envision a little bit more of what it'll look like. It's that white, as you can tell, that white and that black and then that brown, in my mind, is just gonna be so cool. And then, like I said, in the middle area here, there will be some chicken wire or some wire netting, so you'll be able to see through a little bit and see what's on these shelves. But it'll also be enough to, you know, like a door, to just close it and put it away, and then it'll look kind of farmhouse. I do have a picture I found on Pinterest that is kind of my inspiration behind this piece. I will put it up as well, probably at the end, just with my before and afters. It'll be in the second video. I think the last thing I was just gonna show you is some of the power tools I used. Last time I showed you the orbital sander. This is a DeWalt, as you can see, works really great. A few years old, and it just has a knob up here that you push, and it's not plugged in right now, but you just push that and it turns on and it starts circling. And of course you can sand like this. I sand like this sometimes, like this. You're supposed to go with the grain of the wood, but really, you know, however you make it work, works. And then this black thing down here is actually where sawdust collects, so then you can unscrew that and dump it out. And so just makes it so that your project isn't as messy and dusty. I have a DeWalt drill. Use that a lot, especially for the screws. Just different attachments, like I use that one to drill the holes, and then I have a smaller one, and this one screws the screws in with different attachments for those, for different screw heads. And then this is really important, a level. Me, being someone who wings it on projects, still needs a level. Especially when you're doing borders or cutting wood, you need things to be straight, or else you can mess up a whole project. So very important. Well guys, thanks for watching the first part of my first DIY, which is the dresser. I can't wait to see you guys next time. Tune in for part 2 of the DIY dresser, and make sure you come farming with us.